I'm Patrice Douglas from Edmond, Oklahoma. I'm a corporation commissioner, and I was previously the mayor of Edmond.
I'm Steve Russell. I'm a native of Del City, a five-generation Oklahoman. I served 21 years in the United States Army. I own a small rifle business, and I served a term in the state Senate.
I'm Dr. Tom Guild. I live in Edmond. I had a career at the University of Central Oklahoma. Taught there for 27 years, and then after I became a professor emeritus at UCO, I taught for 3 more years at Oklahoma City University.
Hello, I'm Al McCaffrey. I was born in Sulphur, Oklahoma, and I'm a son of a Baptist minister, a member of the Choctaw tribe, a father, and a grandfather. I've served in the Oklahoma legislature since 2007, first as a member of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, and now as a state senator. I received the Legislative Achievement Award from the AARP in 2013, and now I am running for Congress in the 5th District.
How would you protect Social Security for today's seniors and strengthen it for future generations?
When the Social Security system was set up, it was designed to care for those that in later years of their life they would have enough so that they could get by and survive. I think one of the key things that we must remember is that should still be the main purpose of our Social Security system. Those that have paid into it faithfully ought to have a priority. I'm very concerned about the abuses in the disability sector. Most studies think that the disability portion of Social Security could be exhausted in as little as 2 years. We have to audit and look at those that have the greatest needs should have the highest priority. We shouldn't have someone drawing a disability check on Friday and on a jet ski on Saturday.
Social Security is so important for our senior citizens, and I think we have to make sure that we protect the folks that are already on it. And we need to be, any changes that we make, and we all know that we're going to have to make some changes, but any changes that we make need to be scaled so that we are not affecting seniors today, but we are giving people time to plan, time to know what the changes are going to be, and we phase them in over a course of years or even decades.
Myself and many of you have spent our lives working under the premises of a safe and secure retirement. Social Security is not an entitlement, but something that has been earned, and I will protect Social Security and fight any and all efforts to privatize it. Social Security benefits should be keeping up with inflation and be guaranteed for as long as the beneficiary lives. But we need to strengthen Social Security and make sure it's around for future generations. And not just for our seniors, but for those who often need it, like the disabled or spouses working just to get by because they've lost their loved one. Bottom line is that you have earned Social Security and you should be able to depend on it.
Since Social Security was created in 1935, it has kept literally millions of American seniors out of poverty, and it has become the most successful and popular program in the history of the country. I favor the plan put forward by Senator Elizabeth Warren, and in Senator Warren's program, seniors would receive additional stipend at the age of 75 and then again at the age of 85. I will do everything necessary to make sure that Social Security is funded properly and is strong for many decades to come. I oppose the chained CPI and favor a CPI for seniors on Social Security that would reflect the accurate cost of inflation for seniors that would be a little higher because of additional medical costs.
How would you put Medicare on stronger financial ground and protect today's seniors and future retirees from rising health costs?
Since Medicare was created in 1965, it has helped lower the poverty rate for seniors from 30% to about 7.5%. Senator Warren's plan would also infuse additional funding into Medicare. I strongly oppose the Ryan plan, which would voucherize Medicare, cost seniors tens of thousands of dollars in additional health care costs, and price some seniors completely out of the market. I will do whatever necessary to protect Medicare. I think it's one of the most successful and one of the best programs that we have in this country today.
Nearly 50 million older Americans and Americans with disability rely on Medicare each year. The truth is the Affordable Care Act, while far from perfect, made Medicare stronger by adding new benefits and improving care, but also fighting fraud and cutting costs. We recovered a record-breaking $4.3 billion of taxpayers' money in 2013, and we have recovered over $16 billion in the last 4 years. That's a good start, but we should continue doing more. Unfortunately, just fixing these problems won't be enough to put Medicare on the type of solid ground each American who needs Medicare deserves. We have to continue to look for and eliminate waste in our programs while improving the quality of care itself. By focusing on and eliminating waste, crack down on fraud and abuse, expanding preventive care, and emphasizing patient and their families, we can strengthen and protect Medicare.
Well, the first thing I would do to protect Medicare is I would quit robbing it to pay for Obamacare. And I think seniors have a right to know what's sitting in Medicare, and they have a right to know that it's not going to be robbed. I also think we need to give seniors more choices. So I think we need to give them the option of health savings accounts. We need to make sure that we are looking out for their needs today. And again, any changes we make need to be scaled in and need to be brought in over a course of years.
Part of the reason we have such rising health costs, I believe, is that when there is a reimbursed benefit program, you see that a lot of abuses will follow. I think one of the most important things as we protect Medicare is that we try to ensure that those that have the greatest priority are getting the best benefit. We can't have an insolvent system where people pay into it for years and then later it's not there when they need it. The reimbursement program, it does need a careful look. We see insurers and others that are charging exorbitant prices for services. This is not fair to seniors. It's not fair to taxpayers. And we have to have an audit of that system to make sure that Medicare can actually go to physician care directly, and it will be able to pay the bills.
How would you help Americans save so they can secure their future and live independently as they age?
I believe one of the chief functions of government is to care for the widow, care for orphans, care for those in greatest need. As we see an aging population, I think that those that have contributed the most, it ought to be available to them. One of the problems that we have is that what people have put in, they have no control over. And we see waste and fraud and depleted coffers in these systems that were designed for their care. One of the things I think to put on the table is like you see in the employment sector, where people have maybe a debate about defined benefit plans versus contributed plans. I think we ought to have discussions that the money that's taken out for Social Security and Medicare, perhaps those things ought to be considered as contributions where they're protected by the individual. All of these things we have to look at. And then at the end of the day, we always can use audits so that we make sure that those that are in the greatest need actually get the care.
Well, we want senior citizens to live at home. We want them to be able to live at home as long as possible. And in Oklahoma, we've even seen the cost savings that can occur through home health care instead of nursing facilities or assisted living facilities. So I think we encourage that. I think we find ways to support that with policy. And you get better outcomes. Seniors are happier, and it's just a better way to allow seniors to stay independent.
I believe every American that works hard and plays by the rules ought to have a dignified retirement, while Social Security must remain solid, guaranteed benefits that every American can rely on and should be part of the plan along with their savings and pension. Too many Americans lack access to workplace retirement saving plans, usually the most effective means of saving for retirement. Unfortunately, women are actually the majority of seniors living below the poverty line and less likely to be prepared for retirement than men. That's wrong. We need to fix that. We should make it easier for families to keep their loved ones in their home. We should be proud of our seniors and that still work, and realize that many of our seniors still work, frankly, because they have to.
Currently, the Federal Reserve policies penalize seniors who want to save and invest. Those policies should be changed so that seniors can receive a fair rate of return on their investments. Age discrimination against seniors in employment is rampant. Even though we have in place the Age Discrimination in Employment Act of 1967, still that kind of discrimination goes on. The EEOC should strictly enforce the age discrimination law. Testers should be sent in where there's good evidence that such discrimination has taken place to help investigate. Seniors that want to stay in their homes should be allowed to do that, and under federal tax law, we should, by public policy, encourage that by giving tax breaks to family members who serve as caretakers for America's seniors. I think AARP is a terrific organization. I'm on board with them when they want to increase benefits for Social Security recipients and have a true cost of living measure for increases in those benefits. I'm on board when they work hard to protect Medicare and also oppose plans like the Ryan plan to voucherize Medicare and make health care even more expensive and not available to many seniors. I'm in favor of ferreting out illegal job discrimination, and I will strongly stand with seniors and the AARP to represent the interests of seniors. There's no one that's ever been in the halls of Congress that cares more about the rights of seniors than me.
It's been an honor to serve the people of Oklahoma in our state capital, and it will be a great honor to serve you as a congressman in the 5th District of Oklahoma, where I truly believe it is my duty to serve all the people of Oklahoma. This is a do-nothing Congress. In fact, the Congress that President Truman famously referred to as the do-nothing Congress passed about 9 times as many bills as the present one. We have to break the gridlock and start putting people before politics. I have a history of putting families ahead of politics, and I will be honored to continue to do so as your next congressman from the 5th District.
Well, I am so honored to be sitting here with AARP, and just want you to know that I have stood for seniors when I was mayor. I fought for the senior meal program. As a commissioner, I fought to keep utility rates down. AARP is always a participant in our actions at the commission, and we work so hard to make sure that folks on a fixed income can continue to live healthy lives, productive lives, have a great time, and we certainly need to remember senior citizens and all the different needs, the fixed incomes that we're dealing with. I ask for your vote on August 26th. I'm excited to be in this race. Thank you for giving me the chance.
I had the privilege growing up of knowing 6 of my great-grandparents. One of the most influential people in my life was one of my great-grandfathers who was a World War I veteran. I was taught to have respect. I think it's important that as we, as Americans, look at our aging community, that we do respect, and that we don't just turn to the government for every problem, that we also look at faith-based options and community options. And we have to guard and safeguard those tax dollars that were put in for care. And we need leaders in Washington that will stand on those issues.